Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a wonderful day. As always, leaving a comment, leaving a like, or subscribing, all of these things do help with the channel's ranking and algorithm. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. It says Bitcoin and Ethereum try to recover, Solana gains strength. This one says technical analysis, Bitcoin breaks $40,000, why recovery could face hurdles. And this one says technical analysis, Ethereum starts recovery, why the bears remain in control. I actually love this photo of the guy looking up at nothing. It looks quite dramatic. So at the moment, as I've mentioned other times before, there are no actual bears, bulls, or any other animals floating around the cryptocurrency market. This has to do with actual real world events that are currently taking shape. I don't think it's people necessarily being completely negative or positive against the cryptocurrency market. It's more of there are things taking place right now, and therefore until those things are resolved, we will continue to have the world's markets be in this way. I've had a number of discussions, as I always do, with friends about finance, whether it be the cryptocurrency market, when's the right time to buy real estate, because that's also a gigantic question mark floating in the sky right now. I have a friend of mine who just decided to start reinvesting after about 6 years of being away, but he's decided to get into the traditional markets and was asking me if I knew why prices were down, things were slumping, why weren't things moving as he had heard they were moving over the last 2 years. And then I discussed with him the current world situations that are taking place that are actually affecting every single market. So it's not that people are more bearish on Bitcoin or bearish on Ethereum at the moment. It's simply what's happening. So at the moment, world markets look like they're trying to recover. For those of you not looking at the screen, I'm certain I can't say a number of these words, as I've said before, because of the algorithm. However, if you're looking at it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It looks like what was going to potentially happen before might not, as people are going to sit down together and talk. That's a great way of putting it. It's this idea that there may be some type of a resolution. Therefore, that's what's moving the markets right now. So normally, historically, there would be no direct correlation for the cryptocurrency markets to traditional markets. However, I think because of this happening, and also because of the last 2 years, we are in very, dare I say, unprecedented times. So it makes a little bit of sense that there would be some type of a correlation, as the cryptocurrency market is not only risky, but also seen as a risky asset class, and therefore, should something take place that we may not want to take place, riskier assets are usually the first things that end up being sold off, especially as they are more liquid. This one says Hong Kong stock market tipped to open in the red. A lot of futures right now for stock markets are still in the red. The idea that there may be a talk doesn't usually ease the minds of many people out there. You can look at this second paragraph right here. The idea being, until we get to an actual answer, that is when things will begin to move in the right direction. However, until then, markets around the world are, I don't want to say plummeting, but it's affecting every single asset class right now, and it's quite fascinating to see. But I mean, it's also completely logical that this would be doing that to said market. So also, first of all, that's the part one of where the markets currently are. The cryptocurrency market has recovered 1, 2, maybe even some coins around 3% right now. It looks nice to see a day in the green, but do understand why, if it goes into the red, this is probably the reason why. This, however, has also been quoted as a reason as to why the cryptocurrency markets have also been in red, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but sure, why not? United States President Joe Biden is poised to release an executive crypto order this week. An administration official with knowledge of the matter has disclosed the executive order will direct government agencies to conduct detailed examinations of various areas of the crypto asset landscape in order to develop an extensive regulatory framework, according to reports. The executive order would mandate the Treasury Department, the State Department, and the Office of the Attorney General to investigate the possibility of launching a digital currency issued by the U.S. Federal Reserve. I'm pretty sure that they've already done that because they've been talking about that since around 2014. I'm sure that it's already there, but I think this is just for pomp and circumstance. Biden's crypto policy announcement has been delayed because of a disagreement between Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and the White House officials over the scope of the planned executive order. So, a lot of people, I'm going to give you a very quick run through of this. We've known that there were going to be cryptocurrency regulations since 2017. That's just been exactly what it is. Now that there's going to be an executive order to actually look deeper into the cryptocurrency spaces by the people who we already know have been looking into the cryptocurrency space since at least 2015, has come at some gigantic surprise to a large number of people who have announced that this is actually not the other logical news. But no, this is the actual reason why the cryptocurrency market has been going down. We have all known, whether we wanted it or not, that there were going to be some type of regulation within the cryptocurrency space. Whenever we talk about the US SEC not allowing a Bitcoin ETF to go through, one of the main things that we also attach to that sentence is regulation. If there's no regulation, people don't know what to do with this. Rather, the wealthiest of the wealthiest, who are not as easily able to hide their billions as they're moving it around, know what to do inside of this market. So while I think there may have been a tripping over a stone or a banana peel for news like this, I do not think that this is the reason why the cryptocurrency market has been going down, because once again, we knew that this was going to happen. And also the other news, I don't have it in this video, but the other news floating around about the coming the word's not verification, mandate or whatever, the news from the Federal Reserve as to how high they're going to raise the interest rate. For some reason, that's also floating around as like will the cryptocurrency market be able to recover? I mean, I hope so. They're not raising it by 15 points. It's probably, they even said a quarter, so 0.25. So the highest that we're going to get is 0.50 for the interest rate within the United States, while the inflation rate continues to be above 7%. And is probably going to continue going higher. Have you seen any news recently as to the forecasts for global inflation by April and May? It's not looking too good. So, yes, we knew that we were going to get these rules, laws, and regulations. This is also one of the most popular news stories of the day. It's just logic that this was going to take place as we continued hearing about this. Anyway, so while a large portion of the cryptocurrency price news was a little bit negative, a little bit, to the side, I was quite shocked. An enormous part of the news today had to do with people being really excited, not only that prices were down, but that prices will soon be going upwards. This one says the third richest billionaire in Mexico, Ricardo Salinas Pliego, who we've spoken about a number of times on this channel. I think he's become the new Mike Novogratz in that he's rich, he's in the crypto space, and he talks about it, about how much he loves it. Has advised to buy Bitcoin. He said, keep buying while the price is still low and hold the crypto without thinking of selling. He said, trust me, you're going to thank me later. Mexico's third richest billionaire, Ricardo Salinas Pliego, gave some advice Saturday about investing in Bitcoin. Salinas is the founder and chairman of Grupo Salinas, a group of companies that with interest in telecommunications, media, financial services, and retail stores. I mean, anyone who's a billionaire usually has their hands in every single cookie jar. The billionaire tweeted on Saturday, urging his Twitter followers to buy Bitcoin and keep buying while the price of Bitcoin is still low. He said, You have to buy Bitcoin. Keep buying when the price is low. Just hold your Bitcoin. Forget about selling. Trust me, you're going to thank me later. Thank goodness Bitcoin is not a security, because that entire sentence would have definitely not gone well with the SEC. This is, he is not the only rich person to mention this in the last 2 or 3 days. There's a huge idea that over the coming weeks, we are going to see a very heavy rebound in the market. Once again, I do not know if this is going to happen. However, all the rich billionaires keep saying that same thing over and over. And it's news, and therefore I report it. It says, here's what will signal a new Bitcoin rally, according to analytics firm Sentiment. Crypto analytics firm Sentiment says that one indicator could signal the beginning of a positive breakout for Bitcoin. And they point out that gold is actually up. It says gold is soaring. Gold is up by 5%. I wouldn't call that a soar. I'd call that a little bump, especially as gold has actually went down by 1% over the last 2 years. But alas, while Bitcoin shows weakness in tandem with a correcting U.S. stock market, Sentiment says that if Bitcoin manages to decorrelate from equities, it would be a major sign of a new rally. Here's a chart right here, and then they have some other person from Pantera Capital basically stating that before in the past we've seen Bitcoin correlated to other markets. At some point it breaks away, begins to move on its own, and when we do see that movement, that is when Bitcoin will break above $40,000 and therefore shoot for the stars or aim to the moon or fly to the beach or whatever Bitcoin needs to do to go up in price. Also, when people think that great or crazy things are about to happen in the cryptocurrency market news, for some reason, this was floating around all over the place, and I'm not really sure where it came from. However, this was one of the most popular price news stories of the day. In 2021, Cardano was the third biggest crypto by market cap, breathing down Ethereum's neck. However, 2022 saw it in 7th place. To that end, a Finders panel of fintech experts came together to predict ADA's future price performance. The final estimate was well worth a read. To make a long story short, thank you. The target is for Cardano to hit $2.79 by the end of this year. It might remind investors of Solana's, it might not, whatever. Point is, it's still a 168% rally. Things really take off, however, in 2025, which is when the panel guessed that Cardano would hit around $8.18. Meanwhile, the 2030 prediction is at a $58 Cardano. This was everywhere, all over the place. People were completely losing their mind over this news. I mean, it sounds exciting, especially if you're holding Cardano. It's just a matter of no one really knows where cryptocurrency prices are going to go. I think we would see a very different cryptocurrency market prices if the current situation that we spoke about earlier were not going on. I think easily, especially as it looks like, how do I say this? Doors are opening and you can walk outside and also sit down and have a meal. That makes sense. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Things look pretty good around the world again, and I think there's just one really weird thing that's holding down prices. Can we have a $2.79 Cardano by the end of this year? Absolutely. Didn't Cardano reach over $3 before? I think that is absolutely completely possible. With that in mind, that would also mean that the other cryptocurrency coins have also skyrocketed as well. And if current events were not taking place and the news, our news, was filled with great Bitcoin news and also the expectation that in the coming weeks we are going to be having the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade, not even forgetting that Cardano has like 3 decentralized exchanges now and tons of things being built on top of it, we'd have some nice market movements upward, but you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, yes, that's the, popular news floating around talking about exactly how high Cardano is maybe going to go by the end of this year. Is this also it? Yep, it's also it. So, at the moment, that's all the price news. It's a great price news day. Prices in the market are actually moving up. There's a lot of enthusiasm as to where prices are going to be going over the next couple of weeks. If this event was not going on, there is once again logically nothing that should be holding us back as a market, except if it's gigantic whale activities who are trying to move the prices of the cryptocurrency market down so that they can buy more at a cheaper price. But I digress. Anyway, that's all the price news. Yeah, not too bad. And without further ado, let's move on. Here's a really good one. The SEC has claimed that they have received around 200 letters on whether or not to approve the application for a Bitcoin ETF. According to the regulator's estimates, in February, the majority of these letters were received as of October 2021. Grayscale, the world's biggest Bitcoin fund, has sought to convert its Bitcoin trust into a Bitcoin spot ETF. You must have remembered this news. First of all, the SEC has been rejecting Bitcoin ETFs, physical Bitcoin ETFs, since around 2014, 2015. Grayscale has a fund that holds Bitcoin on behalf of their clients. They are basically in every matter of the sense, except for having 3 letters on their arms that say ETF, they basically have a Bitcoin ETF. As such, many other companies have come forward to say, hey, they basically have an ETF. Give us an ETF as well. And Grayscale has also come forward to say, hey, what we have now is a trust, but we want to make it into a fund. Everyone hanging on there? Good. Several Bitcoin futures ETFs have been authorized, but the regulator has been far more, the word's not cautious. I won't say it. About a spot Bitcoin ETF. At least 3 applications for a Bitcoin spot ETF have been denied by the SEC this year alone. However, the Grayscale application has yet to be decided upon. We all know what the answer is going to be. We all know that it's going to be no. The really important part here is the key point of the 200 letters. Regulators claim that the decision was made to safeguard investors and the general public. Investors, on the other hand, say they don't feel safe. Over 198 letters have been sent to the regulator, the majority of which beg that the application be approved. In February, 184 of the letters came. The idea being, the SEC has stated for many years that if these products get launched, if a company is able to hold Bitcoin on behalf of other people, that there are some crazy risks that the SEC will not declare so that other people can find a way to actually fix it. The other point being, the SEC believes that the cryptocurrency market is unregulated and therefore needs to be regulated. However, they have not allowed any regulated company regulate the cryptocurrency space to make it safer for investors. This is why people say they don't feel safe, i.e., I want to get into the cryptocurrency market, but I don't feel safe buying it on Coinbase. I wish there was a regulated company who I could give my money to who would do the exact same thing that I plan on doing, but they'd be able to do it for me, and the SEC has continued to say no. You might remember what we spoke about this last week as well. There, in 2017 and 2018, the US SEC has a thing where they'd like to ask the public for their opinion. Tell us what you're thinking. Should we allow it? Should we not let it go through? We want to hear from you so that we can make a decision. However, the US SEC doesn't actually care what the public thinks. The US SEC is filled with people who continuously have told us, I've been in the crypto market for a very long time. I'm not talking out of my backside. I've gone over the document. I've looked through the documents myself. I've looked through all of these things at some point or another, who have continuously told us that we are unsafe in this market and we need some type of regulation. However, they won't give us regulation and they won't allow any other major company to actually help people who want to get into the market. I assume, and have assumed for a while, it is the big M word. Next letter A. that gives you a clearer definition because this is clearly absolutely ridiculous. One of the ideas being from years ago was that if there was ever a Bitcoin ETF, an exchange traded note, or an exchange traded product, or an ETP, that went into the US market, it would cause absolute chaos. The markets would not know what to do with it, and therefore markets would kind of be all over the place. Keep that in mind as I go to the next story. If you follow me on Twitter, you have seen this already, and it's a bit of a doozy. Bulgarians can now invest in crypto assets through their country's stock market. Isn't that crazy? The Bulgarian stock market has recently launched 8, not 1, not 3, not 5, not even 7, 8 exchange-traded notes based on Bitcoin and Ethereum, following the example set by leading European platforms that support such products. Bulgarian Stock Exchange, or the BSC, has started trading crypto instruments tracking the price rates of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Investors looking for suitable, innovative crypto products may now freely trade in 8 cryptocurrency exchange-traded notes, according to an announcement published this past Thursday. Now, I say this, and I mean this in the nicest way. I find it quite weird, once again, in the nicest way, that even a place like Bulgaria has 8 crypto ETNs and the US SEC can't decide on one. And I say it that way simply because we normally historically have heard of New York, London, Switzerland, and maybe even parts of Germany as economic powerhouses, what have you. When Bulgaria can have 8 of them and the US still has 0, something is definitely wrong. I would like to have hopes that this year or the next, or even the next one, that we may see an actual Bitcoin ETF launch within the United States, but we all know that it's not going to be happening anytime soon. I think it's an actual shame. However, someone commented on the Twitter post yesterday and said exactly what I've always been saying. Always look towards the countries who actually have proper cryptocurrency regulations and are also launching crypto-based products. These are going to be the countries that make it in the future. Why is it that Canada was able to have 4 or 5 Bitcoin ETFs and then subsequently Ethereum ETFs within a good 4 or 5 week period? Australia, Germany, and Switzerland, and now Bulgaria. What exactly is the US SEC trying to protect investors against, except for themselves? Meaning they should be protected against the actual US SEC. Because even the people from the CFTC have come forward and said, what are you taking so long for? Anyway, I thought that bundle of news was quite special. Doesn't it seem a little weird? Imagine Bulgaria getting 8 overnight while the US still has none. Anyway, that's the US SEC. They're going to be reviewing these 200 letters, and I'm sure it's going to have a major impact on what they're thinking about doing, because the SEC, we all know that they really do care about the cryptocurrency space and about helping people who are in the markets. Alrighty. Yeah. Let's move on. Also in the popular news of the day, Ripple chief executive Brad Garlinghouse claims that the truth is now out after the court unsealed a pair of legal documents the blockchain-based payments firm received in 2012 about XRP tokens. For those of you who haven't been keeping up with the recent news about it, this is news every single day as the lawsuit continues to drag on because of the US SEC. Apparently, the Ripple legal team has allegedly been trying to unseal old documents, unseal old emails, and try to figure out exactly why XRP has been singled out when no other coin except for, other coins on the side have been taken to court, and the people from Ethereum haven't been taken to court, yada, 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 etc., etc., etc. Court filings unsealed on the 18th of February indicate that in February 2012, a memo sent to Jed McCaleb and Jesse Powell Perkins Coy LLP international law firm advised Ripple not to sell what they were then calling new coin in what seemed like an ICO and would result in a classification as a security. Ripple had to revise its business model and went back to the same law firm, leading to the second memo in October of the same year. The second memo, which was sent to Chris Larson and Jed McCaleb, was more upbeat than the previous one and suggested that Ripple credits, which they were then trying to call that before XRP, was not likely to be considered a security under federal laws. However, it warned that there was a slight risk that the US SEC Commission would not see things the same way. The long and short of it, as it's actually standing right now, without me having to read through the entire long article, is that basically the SEC has said that Ripple decided to launch XRP without any regard for the general public. And the news basically being that multiple times they actually went to multiple lawyers to try and see if what they were doing would classify them as a security through an ICO. And basically they released XRP in the same exact way that many other coins were also released. And therefore these other coins are not classified as a security. Ethereum actually had an ICO and they are deemed not a security as well. There's been tons of court documents. I think in the next, if I'm not mistaken, in the next 2 weeks, something is supposed to pop off within the lawsuit, or things will begin to go at a faster pace. And this is why we heard before from the other legal expert, legal expert, that they expect that all of this could be resolved by some time around April. I'm not a lawyer, but the lawsuit does seem a little weird. We've gone over that many times before, and we will not go over it again. It's just more of a, what is the SEC doing? I feel like if you actually, and even more so, it says it inside the article as well. They had this since 2012 when they actually created the coin. We know that the other guy who made Lumens created XRP. Got it. But the fact is, which I've said many times before, if they knew in 2016 that this looked potentially fraudulent or security, in 2017 they knew, in 2018 they knew as well, why wait so long when so many people in the United States had access to said coin, especially after it was launched on every single US cryptocurrency exchange? Therefore, people within the US had the idea that they were holding or touching something that was not a security and was therefore regulated under the eyes of the US SEC. And then, you understand what I'm saying? Anyway, so the point is also, this is also in the news as well. There's just a lot going on. It says SEC makes big blunder in XRP lawsuit. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel like reading through it because this is happening every single day. I want the lawsuit to just completely be over with. It is, at least in my eyes, as someone who has never studied law, this is clearly fraudulent in so many different ways. Why are they doing this? I think, once again, it's the SEC really trying to figure out how to control a market that they have no control over. It's not me being, like power to the people or anything like that. It's just complete logic. They have no control over the blockchains. They have no control over the transactions. They don't know where anything is going. They're used to being able to regulate things since people were writing things on paper and using typewriters. And they feel that because these things have a monetary value based on the US dollar, which at some point will completely decouple itself from each other, that they should therefore then have complete control over every other coin that also comes through the market as well. Because I know that they pat themselves on the back and probably had a pretty big lunch and a party that night when they deemed Bitcoin and Ethereum not to be securities, because they knew that they had the power to be able to do so. So, as it stands right now, this is very popular news. It's always popular news every single day. I saw someone in the comment section say that it's not popular news, that I'm hunting for XRP news. No, sir, I'm sorry. This is the XRP community. You have no idea how large they actually are, especially in comparison to Cardano and the Ethereum community. They are massive. They have huge numbers. This is in the news every single day. I simply bring it to you when something significant has happened. Will this lawsuit get thrown out? Probably not. I feel like the SEC has to stick to their convictions now and try and make it seem like they're actually trying to do something. But if you really wanted to protect the U.S. public, you would have done so many years ago. Alrighty. Let's move on. And to finish things off in very popular news, Kookmin Bank, that is Kookmin Bank, is preparing to become the first bank in South Korea to offer crypto investment products to retail investors. KB announced on the 21st of February that it had formed a digital asset management preparatory committee, to determine product and strategy capabilities regarding digital assets and artificial intelligence investment funds. The bank expects to launch crypto exchange traded funds, or ETFs. How weird. And future products. The committee will also assess risks and compliance issues for the investment funds. The plans were confirmed by KB's head of index quant management, Hung Gung Kim, in the official release from the bank. He said, "We will launch a virtual asset themed equity fund, etc. We plan to publish periodicals as well." How weird that the word ETF once again pops up on the news. So we will probably be getting news I give it by summer, that South Korea will also have multiple ETFs as well. Why is it able to work out in the rest of the world except for one country? It can't be manipulation. That'd be unethical. Anyway, yeah. One of the largest banks in South Korea is going to be launching cryptocurrency funds and ETFs and ETNs and ABCs and 123s. And tons of people are finally going to have access to the cryptocurrency market because South Korea and Japan, like I said many years ago, controlled the cryptocurrency market. They were the actual market movers. Their countries in 2018 had a lot of problems when it came to the cryptocurrency market. And they said it needed to be regulated. And guess what? It took them 2.5 years to sit down, talk about it, discuss it, and sign paperwork. And here we are now. Kind of weird, right? Anyway, the rest of the world continues to turn, as it will always do. Very weird news day. There's always a lot of stuff, a lot of weird things going on, but it's just a cryptocurrency market. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. GBU Wally, formerly known as Professor Wally. Darren Davis, How's Life Austin? Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified. And let's move on. Chris, Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fudd, Wiser, More Defied, Roman Geba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony, Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something, and the Z-Way, Lay, Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shaw Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grillet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, wow, Conan Don't Skip Black Day, I had like no air left. Conan Don't Skip Black Day, Snacky Chan, Tolith Banana, Auspicious Agile, and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Steuer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Todd, Mullis, Adam, Graysick, Mohamaroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight, Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cold E3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto. Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness Monks, Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who left a like, has left a comment. Thank you to everyone who bought some art over the weekend. I do thank thee. It's quite nice of you. Thank you to everyone who's still here watching. At the Memento, Bitcoin is currently at 39,204. It is up by 2.3%. Ethereum is up by 4%. Binance Coin is up by 3. Solana is up by 11. Luna is up by 9. Anything crazy, Shiba Inu is up by 7.91 percentile points as well. Everything, okay, see? Once again, everything is up by at least 2%. Sorry, Leo. At least 2%. Decentraland is up by 9% as well. Phantom is up by 5. Anything else crazy? eGold is up by 8. Axie Infinity is up by 10% at the same exact time. Helium is up by 7. Yeah. Weird market. Let's see what the rest of the week brings. It would be nice if things got back to normal and we weren't in yet another ridiculous situation so that all markets could move back up and we could all go and smile again. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.